Lucy and I have hooked up with Team WHM Motorsports. And in keeping with our history lesson, we're going to take you back in time one more time. And you'd never know it by the youthful face on this guy, but he's been around for 35 years, Billy Mauff. Take us back to the beginning. How did it all start for you?
You forgot handsome, too. You said useful. You didn't use the word handsome, though. That veneering. You know what happened? I was living down here. I just left the union up north, moved down to Florida. Used to work for Don Aronow. I used to take his customers out. My job was to get them to buy boats. I was very good at selling boats. And I wasn't a boat salesman. But I would take him out in his boats. I'd take him to shooters, different places along the intercoastal. And Don said, I don't care what you do, but at the end of the day, when you get back with that customer, you better be signing the paper. I better be getting the check. He had a customer come in one day, a guy out of California. His name was Bill. He had bought a 28 Firefox. The boat was called Low Bid. I took the guy out for a run. We went out to cut. Came back in. He's a little on the white side. He said to me, this is insane. This is crazy. This boat ain't big enough. I told him, I kind of told you that when you bought the boat. So we took him into the room, sitting in front of Don's desk. I was kind of behind the guy, Bill, buying the boat, who had just signed for the boat. So Don's like, what do you think? He's like, well, I'll tell you what I think. I ain't getting in that boat. You know anyone's stupid enough to run the boat? So he turns around. He says, yeah, look at the guy behind you. So the guy looks at me. I look behind me, thinking there's someone behind me. So I go, what are you looking at me for? He's like, you're the lucky guy. I'm like, I'm the lucky guy. I wonder if this is going to be real luck. Turns out being, I take him out. You know, we start racing the boat. He wouldn't get in the thing no matter what. We first race at that time was in Miami. We took a win. The guy was all excited. I ran all season with him. The end of the season, he got his big trophies. He looked at me. He said, you know what? I'm done. You want the boat? I said, I can't afford this thing. He said, don't worry about it. Just take it. Go have fun with it. That's where it started, and that was 35 years ago. From there, I went to work with Ben Kramer. We all know who Ben Kramer is. That was an experience. So I just went from Aronow to Kramer, and then eventually got to where I'm at now.
So you were there at the very beginning. Don Aronow, of course, the godfather, really, of offshore, and Ben Kramer, we won't even go there, but, I mean, some very, very colorful characters. Can you top that, Jay?
Probably can't top it, but this is my 22nd year straight in a row racing. And I started off just loving the sport, watching it as a little kid, and I was towing a little replica boat of a boat called Instigator around when I was young in a marina when they were testing a race boat. And the owner, Gino Montrone, came up to me, gave me a $20 bill. He said, thanks for the sponsorship. I'm like, I love your boat. I love your boat. So they're getting ready to go out for a test drive. There's people all over the place. He's like, kid, come over here. Hop in here. I hop in the boat. I'm like, me? Get in the boat. He's like, you're gonna throttle this thing. Got into this. It was a 30-foot Scarab S type. Go out. My dad and his friend were having some beers on our cabin cruiser. He's like, I think that's your kid going by. I'm like, come on, can we take him for a ride? We took my dad and his partner for a ride, went blasting across the bay. I was maybe 10 years old at like 80, and that was it for me. I was hooked. I said, I want to be an offshore racer. So,
Lucy, you're a huge fan of this sport, and you live on the water too, so you love it just as much as these guys. This has to be cool to you to hear these stories going back in time.
Well, absolutely, Stan. And the thing about it is hearing the history, how you guys got started. And you're certainly not in it for the money, because we all know this is not, you pour the money in versus, you know, the money you take out of it. But compared to other extreme sports that are out there, which I'm sure you've done, well, how does it feel? And do you have any special preparation before you go out on race day?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're looking at a sport that takes millionaires and makes them thousandaires. You know, where else can you get into a sport, lose money doing it, and enjoy it? Exactly. I don't care what sport you get into. This is a sport that you're going to have the most amount of fun. You know what it is? It's that 1 hour of adrenaline that's got you on the end. You know, the pits is a great place, and I've always said the show is in the pits, because for 3 days you can have all the spectators and the fans go through the pits. They can touch the boat, they can touch the driver, they can touch the owner, they can go through their trailers. A lot of sports you just don't get that opportunity. You go to a NASCAR race and it's great, but you're in the stands, you're not on the track. You could see those guys, but 9 out of 10 times you can really never get in their trailers, not unless you know them. WHM's been a very fortunate person to have guys like Tony Stewart. Tony's got a miniature WHM. Tony's been in my boat. Jeff Gordon's been in my other boat, and Johnny's shop. I've known Junior for a long time. We ran an Earnhardt program. My support trailer was Dale Sr.'s before he passed away. You know, I mean, there's a lot of history that just goes with the racing.
You love racing so much. You've got not one race boat here, but 2 race boats.
Yeah, my son over here, my adopted son over here, says to me, we really need to get a little boat. I'm like, we ain't got enough time with 1 boat. You want to have 2 boats? He's like, don't worry, we'll make time. And we have been, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, I just hope he doesn't come to me with that 3rd boat.
How long does it take the learning curve between throttlemen and driving? Now you guys have both been around a long time, but getting together, how long does it take for you guys to mesh it as one, which is very, very important for you to be successful? And you guys have certainly been successful in all the classes you've run in.
You know what? It takes a little bit of time. With me and Billy, we clicked right away, and that you take it for granted until you run with someone else. And I've ran in several other boats, and you have to have that feeling that the guy knows exactly what you're going to do. We don't even really need to talk in the boat. I know when he's going inside, I cut the throttle back. I know when he's going outside, I keep the throttle down. I mean, you got to work as one in there, and that makes a good team.
One thing that also draws people to your trailer is not the boats, not the trailer, but your dogs, which are really your kids. Tell us about them, Billy. I know you love them to death.
When we were in Michigan, I had lost Crystal, my one husky, my female husky. She died of a seizure, and I kind of pretty much destroyed. I mean, I've never missed a day of work in my life. I work 7 days a week. You call my office Christmas Day, I'm usually in my office. I'm there till 1 or 2 o'clock. Thanksgiving Day, I'm in there. I work every day. I love what I do. When I lost Crystal, it destroyed me. It really, I mean, that's the first time I took 7 days off just to get my head together. Honestly, I couldn't have got in a boat in those 7 days. I would have never been able to concentrate. And, they say something good comes out of something bad, and something good came out of losing Crystal. I mean, she got me to go forward and adopt another husky, and I adopted Cindy. And then Cindy, after rescuing Cindy, then we went on the computer and we seen Billy and Jilly, which are named after people from 9/11. We rescued those guys. Then last year in Daytona, we lost our male husky, the black and white, which was Sky, and June, that was June's baby. So I flew down to Texas during the Daytona race. I picked up Blue, flew him back. So now we got the 4, and right now I'm pushing her to go for number 5.
It's a family affair right here at Superboat International. Keep your eye on this team, WHM Motorsports. The small boats behind us right here, Superboat stock boat with outboard power. Then they got the Superboat, the big 40-foot skater as well. Both boats are yellow. Nothing yellow about these guys. These guys hanging out because they want to be in the winner's circle.